Hello everybody, welcome back again. This is Deepak Sharma here. This lecture today focused on chapter 20th from Sage 300 2017 textbook. So lesson 12 from this book focus again on account receivable module. So again, I'm gonna go through from the beginning of account receivable as all the information is being flown through. So lesson we started account receivable with setting up the account receivable. Next chapter we did the custom profiles, we did the custom groups, then we did the custom profiles. Then lesson 18 we did we did the opening entry for account receivable to agree with the account receivable general ledger account, and then we recorded some of the transactions in the month of February in lesson 18. Then in lesson 19 we did some adjustment entries in the account receivable module as well. And once we finish up your adjustments, now we're going into lesson 20, which focus on the receipt processing, which focused on receiving payments from customers. Okay, so this is the normal process that you guys will see in your practical experience as well. If you get a chance to work on account receivable and your company is a medium to large size company, regardless of what system they are using, the processes are similar. So if you're working in account receivable department, first you will make sure you process all the invoices. Once you process all the invoices, then your supervisor is going to review all those invoices and make sure there's no errors with that, and those invoices get posted. Then the second thing that you will do is, then you find out you have some maybe 1 or 2 days period between when you create invoices and then when you receive payments. So for example, in a typical week, and for example your company has a weekly processes, so Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday your company focus on recording invoices to our customers. And then when it comes to Thursday, then that's the time when you're recording all the deposit that came in on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. You record everything on Thursday. So Thursday is a day where you don't do anything other than recording all your deposit that came into the business. So in that case, you have done all the invoices, they are already in the system, and if there was any errors, you have rectified the errors in the system. Now what you're doing is you're actually recording the deposits. So when you're recording deposits, there's a particular place where all the receipts are getting recorded. So we're using today's 300 and account receivable module, and here you are, all these transactions are going to be recorded under AR transactions. And under AR transactions you have various types of batches. So for the receipts, you focus on right here, this area. So I'm going to tell you there is 2 ways you can record the receipts. One is using the batch, another one is a quick receipt entry. I'm not going to go through this, but this is a great feature. For example, you received 10 checks today and you're rushed to go to the bank to deposit that checks, but you want to make sure you enter that into a system before you deposit it. What you can do is you can quickly record all the checks with the customer name and the amount, and later on when you come back, then you can apply the checks against whatever payments they belong to. The reason that I don't like to do that, because it's an extra work. First you record that, then you're going to come back to the same batch and apply it. So it's the same thing, but you're doing in 2 different steps. So you can look at the book. The book explained that using a quick receipt entry, but I'm strictly going to go into the receipt batches. So you're going to go into receipt batches, and here you have list of all the batches here. So you see there's 2 batches for me. One is say open, and one is deleted. So regardless whether the batch is open or deleted or posted, it will show up here. So for me to create another batch, I'm going to click new, and that takes me to a new batch, and here I'm going to say is receipt February 2019. So first thing, you put the batch date. Now the important information is the bank, because this is a receipt, that means we are depositing money. First thing you have to mention is you have to separate the batches depending on if you have 5 different banks, you cannot record the same batch for 5 different banks deposits. So there'll be a one batch per bank. Okay, so you're gonna say batch number 3, all these receipts are being deposited into TD checking. Okay, so now you come into entry number 1. And we're gonna say the first entry is we receive the full payment from Union Electronic for the invoice 34164. So here I'm going to say Union Electronic, and now there are different types of transactions. First we can look at the receipt. So the receipt is when you're receiving a payment for an outstanding invoice from a customer. So this is an invoice already sitting in the system, now you're receiving a payment for that. So this is the receipt, and we say, oh, we are depositing this on 15th of February, and we're going to select Union Electronics. Okay, so it comes up here, and under the receipt you can put the check number. Say check number was 1234, and the amount is we receive a full payment for invoice number 34164. So I don't tell you the amount, but you need to know, well, in a practical situation you have the copy of the check, but in this situation we're going to click on this arrow right here. This lists all the invoices that are outstanding. So this guy is making a payment for invoice number 1000. Okay, and how much is the amount? The amount is 3,416 and 10 cents, and you receive a full payment. There is no discount available, so you cannot give them any. So here we see a full payment 3416.40. So 34 says the amount. Okay, now we see that amount, but that amount is not applied yet. But as soon as you see, this is unapplied amount. Which invoice you're gonna pay to? You're gonna pay for invoice 1001. To apply, you're gonna change from no to yes. Once you change it, you see this full amount got applied, and I see that I put the wrong amount. It's supposed to be 10 cents. Right, so you put the amount, and see now your unapplied is 0, because you're gonna make sure that you have the full amount applied. If you remain anything, if the customer pays you more, whatever is the difference, it's gonna stay as an unapplied amount, which you can apply it against the future invoices. Okay, so in this case, you know that the full payment was received for this, so that means your check should have been equal to 3,416 and 10 cents. Okay, so once you do that, now you see there is no unapplied, and this amount is fully paid, and there is no outstanding. You click add. Now the entry is created. Now you're jumping into the second entry. Okay, now the second entry is another type of entry which we call as a prepayment. Okay, so the prepayment is when you receive a payment before you actually sold something to a customer. So customer called in, and the customer told you that he's gonna give you a deposit of $1,000. Okay, so you have this customer, Smith and family. They made a payment of $1,000. So you receive a $1,000, but you received against a PO, purchase order, and the PO number is PO 201. Okay, receive at $1,000, and you don't have a document to apply, so you leave it as unapplied because this will be against the PO. So now you're happy with that, and now what you're gonna do is you're gonna click add. So that's where you record a prepayment. Okay. Then the next type that we have is unapplied cash. I'm gonna skip that, and nothing you have to worry about the unapplied cash. That's usually when you have a small amount that's not applied to any of the outstanding invoice. It's still sitting there. You can apply it against any other invoices. That's called unapplied cash. We don't have any, so neither we're gonna worry about this in the chapter. Apply document, I'm gonna come back to this later. I'm gonna go through a miscellaneous receipt. So now there's a miscellaneous receipt. The miscellaneous receipt is used for a cash sales. Okay, so when you're selling something on a cash, that means a customer came in, he bought something from you, or he rented an equipment, or you did some kind of repair to a product, and you charge the client, and the client paid you on spot. You don't have to go about recording an invoice and recording a payment later. You can record everything at the same time, and we can do that by using a one-time customer. See, if you have a customer profile, you select it. If you don't, you simply put a pair name. So you know what, I'll just put my name, and here under the reference you can put the invoice number or whatever detail that you want to say. Renting machine for 1 month. So you rented a machine for 1 month, and here you're gonna put the check number. So this is the check that customer paid, and how much customer paid was, he paid 1,000 plus HST. So the check was 1,130. If you have the invoice number, you can enter it here. If not, you leave it blank and the system will automatically apply it. Now in this case, you're recording invoice and a payment at the same time. You're going to select the tax code, which is Ontario. Okay, now here it comes in. There you have two choices. You can either select the distribution code or a GL account. So now see, you know what, do we have machinery? Yes, I have machinery sales, but that's not the sale because this is a rental. So either I should have a distribution code for it. If not, I'm just going to simply pick up the sales revenue accounts, which is machinery rental 100 division, and I'm going to put the amount, which is before HST, is $1,000. So now this 1,000 is here, 130 is here, the total is 1,130, and there is non-distributed amount. Once you're happy with that, you click add. Once you add it, you recorded all the entries. So for example, this is for this exercise there was only three transactions that took place. So now this tells you that this is batch number 3. It has 3 entries, and the total deposit is $5,546 and 10 cents. Okay, you can click close, and that's where your entry is. Okay, so now before you post it, you have to make sure you print it. So now there are 2 things that you print in this case. There is a deposit. That means whenever you're recording a receipt batch, it's always recommended, and I worked with the bigger companies as well, and all the account receivable module, all the account receivable departments, what they do is they have a separate folder that have a log of every deposit that recorded into a system. For example, this batch has a deposit of $5,546 10 cents. So you should print a deposit slip. Okay, so here is your deposit, and here is your deposit slip. So the companies may have different slips formatted. So here we are going to select the one as default, and we click print. This will print a deposit slip that will summarize how many deposits there are. So there is Union Electronic 3004 and Smith $1,000, Deepak. There's no customer profile, there's no customer number, but the name is there, and the amount is 113, and that is your total. So this will go into your binder for an account receivable for your filing purposes. And once you finish recording this, you can print your batch list as well. Depending on company's policy, you may want to have this one do filing. If not, this will go to your supervisor for approval to post this transaction. Okay, so you print this. Once you printed both of them, what you do is you say ready to post from no to yes, and then click post. Okay, so now this batch is posted in your account receivable. Okay, so once you finish this, now later on in the month, in February, at the end of February, Smith and family called you. They said we gave you a $1,000 deposit against the PO, but they're saying what, they're going to cancel that, and what they want you to do is for the $1,000 that they gave us, they wanted to apply it against an outstanding invoice in the system. So that's what we're gonna do is we will record another batch, another transaction in account receivable batch, which we gonna use to apply document. So here we're gonna create a new batch to apply a prepayment that was made against an outstanding invoice. So this is the example we're doing for an apply document. So again, every time we're recording a transaction, you have to make sure you select the customer, there's now two things we need to do when we're doing an apply document. You have to find a document that you want to apply. So in this case, you will have anything called prepayment or credit note listed here. So this one, we focus on this prepayment that we did. Oh, sorry, the customer did to us. So there's a $1,000 of an applied payment, which is not applied to anything. Now you can click on this arrow, and this arrow will list all the outstanding invoices. So this customer has invoice number 890 with $2,000. So you can say no to yes to apply this 1,000 against this. So there was 2,000 outstanding. We applied $1,000. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there will be a 1,000 still outstanding. See, net balance is $1,000. So now this means this gonna get applied once we post it. So you click add. So now that apply payment is recorded. See, what you see here is you see $0 because there's no actual amount. What you're doing is you're offsetting one with the other. Okay, so once you finish this, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna print deposit slip. There won't be anything to print because there is no amount. See, there is no even deposit number, so it's not gonna show up anything. There's no point. And then what you do is you print a posting journal, sorry, a batch listing here, just only on screen. Okay, and once you see that, you're ready to post. You set ready to post from no to yes, and then you click post. Okay, so now your batch is posted. Okay, so in the receipt batches, we covered up 4 different types of transactions. One is a receipt, which is processing payments from outstanding invoice. Another one was a prepayment, which is a payment for an outstanding invoices. Third one was a prepayment, the second was a prepayment. Third one we looked was a miscellaneous receipt, which was a cash sales, and the fourth one we covered was applied payment, where we applying a prepayment or a credit note against an outstanding invoices. Once you finish, you finish up your recording your receipt batches. So similar process about the quick receipt, but you guys can look at it when you look at an exercise in the textbook. Quick receipt is nothing different. When you click on a quick receipt, all you do is you simply record transactions in a particular batch, and then once this is done, this is again is happening on a batch. I don't recommend it, but if you wanted to quickly record something without applying to an outstanding invoices, you can do it right here. So then the other thing that's covered up in this chapter is recording the refundable batches, but that's not I'm gonna cover up in this class. So you can look at it in the textbook, read through it, but it's not something that I want to test you, so you don't have to worry about that part. But later on we'll post that, but for now you focus on your exam. So for exam purposes, you only focus on the receipt batches. And then at the end, same thing that I explained you in your account and your last 2 chapters. Any batches that you posting it in account receivable are also getting is created in your journal ledger batches, which is right here. And I'll tell you in the next class is what are we going to do with these batches in account receivable. So see these 2 batches we created in receipt batches, they are coming here as well. Okay, so you're going to be posting them, but we're going to post that when we finish up lesson 21. So now to finish this, just looking at the reports. So your transaction, you can go into posting journals, and this is where you click on the receipt and you select the sequence that you want to print. So you want to print the receipt batches from 1 to 2. You click print, and it will show you both the batches we just did in this class. So there's batch number 1. It has a batch number 3 has 3 entries, 1, 2, 3. Then you look at the next page, batch number 2, it only has 1 entry. Say batch number 4, it's only 1 entry for $1,000. Okay, so that's it. So that's it. That's the end of your lesson 20th. And to do this lesson 20th, I encourage you guys to do it on your own file. But if you don't have your own file, you can go on a Blackboard and download end of lesson 19, and then you can continue lesson 20th from page 628. Okay, and make sure you review all those information that I explained you today. You need to know the definition of each transaction type and how do you process the batches. It would be nice to work on the chapter if you have a software. If you don't have a software, what you can do is you can just look at this video that I posted to make sure you understand how the screenshots look like, and then you read through your test book and pay attention to the details that are given in the test book, and the pictures that are given on different screenshots from the chapter. That will be helpful to prepare you for the final exam. Alright, so this will be the end of lesson 20th, and we'll post a last lecture for the next chapter, which is lesson 21, and that will be the final chapter. Okay, take care everybody.